Hey, what's up? I'm Trey M Trades with 2X Trading, and we're going to be diving into the Sunday stock talk today. So, this isn't going to be, the large cap deep dive. I'm not going to go into those or mid caps, or sort of those type of swing shorts or swing highs. I'm going to dive into what I've seen some great consistency on this week, and that's small caps. I'm hoping we're starting to see the start of what I like to call small cap swing season. Would be amazing if we get into that hot market again. We're seeing strong buying over multiple days. That's what I would love to see. So jumping in here, my first chart on the top left is going to be a 5 minute. This one here on the top right is going to be a 15 minute, and bottom left will be your daily. And those are my main charts I'm watching on some of these names, and I'm just flicking through and trying to figure out if there's continuation, if I want to swing, how's the bigger picture look. These are my three favorite time frames to be watching at the moment. So diving into what we saw this week and why it's exciting. So over the past 4 to 6 months, I have not seen much small cap continuation at all. And by continuation, I mean a move where first you have your initial catalyst, so your initial news drop, earnings, etc. That gives you a huge spike up, a lot of buying, strong volume, and good price movement. But usually the next day, that stock fades off, and you don't have much to play with the next day. It's kind of just over. You have to look for the next news drop, and that's about it. That's what's been happening. It's like just chasing the new stimuli. So this week it was super exciting to see names on my watch list be there for almost the whole week, and being able to have great trading opportunities that involve multiple day setups or possible swings. So that's what I'm loving right now. It's very awesome. It's very positive sentiment for us small cap traders, and I'm hoping next week we continue to see continuation of that. I will be sharing some swing watches as we go through this video and more towards the end, so stay tuned for those. It's going to be awesome. So let's dive into. I'm not going to go through, from Monday to Friday. I'm just going to go through these names on my watch list that had the best moves in small caps this week, and that were, almost pretty tradable. So starting off with the first one, AMAM. This stock had a great catalyst over here in pre-market. I saw it had news about, I'm pretty sure, phase 2 results. Yeah, it did. Of their, I think, breast cancer, some news about their results pretty much. And very positive sentiment. After this thing hit the bell, let's go to a 15-minute chart here just so you're not looking at all these, halts in the 5 minute. As soon as this thing hit the bell, we got insane buying right off the bat and we halted. I couldn't find a trading opportunity in this that didn't really involve sort of chasing. So I didn't touch the thing that day. But I haven't seen, a small cap, let me change this tool here, go from at the open, about like 300%. It was really cool to see that and see something get insane buying throughout the whole day almost. We had halt after halt after halt, which I know I definitely haven't seen and most people haven't seen in ages in small caps. So that was super cool to see. I would definitely keep this name on your watch list going into Monday. I'm not saying I love it for a swing look yet, just because I have to see how this acts on pre-market on Monday since I don't have another day of data like an inside day or something like that. But just keep this on your, your little back burner watch list, and possibly we're going to see continuation on this on Monday. The daily chart, we are into this, sort of wall area between 450, 5 and 450. But if we get through that and see gap on continuation, we do have clean room back to that $8, $9, $10 area. So definitely keep that on your watch list. Diving into the second name we saw on Friday, this would be HTGM. This one was really cool. We saw strong buying throughout the whole day on 3 nice big waves. So our first wave here with the news catalyst dropping, then we consolidated, set it up a really sweet bull flag that absolutely ripped. Into our second move, which had, really strong buying, great volume. Did have a pretty big sell candle here. That was tough, but then again, you regain all of that in after hours. And I'm definitely having this on watch, not just for a swing on Monday, but also for a possible opening drive play, off sort of continuation off of your gap. That's what I'd be watching for on Friday morning or Monday morning, and I'd be really looking forward to that. Jumping into my second name here is MOMO. This one was cool. We had an earnings catalyst on Thursday, and then we set up a multi-day ascending look where we had this, ascending triangle coming up here with this clean breakout zone, and it absolutely ripped face. This thing right off the bell, you take this, you're seeing an explosive move off that continuation. The continuation move on this actually had a bigger move than the initial catalyst did. And that shows me really strong buyer sentiment, and that's something I want to see continue. As for continuation on this, I will have it in my watch list, but I kind of see, not volume fading out, but price action sort of fading out. And we are running into very key resistance here with this $10 area, $9.50 to $10 to $10.30. Those would be my three little levels of possible resistance. If we get over those, though, I mean, granted, we could continue to see Squeeze City. It's on my watch for continuation, but it's not a huge swing watch for me. I have no problem just taking this off my watch on Monday if I don't love how it looks. RMED. So this isn't something I think we're going to see crazy continuation on anymore, but I just wanted to give a recap about how long we've seen this run for. I mean, from the start of December 1st, we had like a little catalyst drop here, and we saw great buying in after hours, and the next day, we set up a flag on the 15-minute, and it rips face on last Friday. And then we set up another flag going into Tuesday of this week, and thing absolutely ripped face again on a 15-minute, on an hourly, etc. You could have played this. And then once again, we saw our third wave of continuation here on Friday, and that was exciting to see. I mean, I haven't seen something run for 2 weeks in a while. Granted, there wasn't like a ton of huge intraday plays on these, but it did great. Give some decent intraday plays with good risk reward, and it did give some decent swing looks. I don't know if we're going to see continuation anymore, just because on a daily chart here, we do have you can see all these red lines I got here. We have a lot of resistance we're trading into. We did have a pretty big, ugly daily candle on Friday, so that was a pretty big rejection of that 630 area. And even if we do get over that, I mean, $680 to $7 is going to be key, and almost every whole number is going to be a pretty key spot on this, which is why I wouldn't have it on my watch for a ton of continuation moves. So jumping to the fifth name here, this is going to be Rent. This is one I really was excited to see work, and I do have this one on watch for a swing and continuation. We had earnings come out on Wednesday afternoon, and into Thursday, super strong buying throughout the whole day. It was constantly making new highs. I think we had about 4 waves of new highs, which was really cool to see. And then at the end of the day, we set up a multi-day flag going from that Thursday closed into the Friday, sort of mid-morning area. And this little flag here, break a VWAP or just over high of day you could have played, and you could have hit a pretty decent win right off the bat. That was super huge to see, and I do think we could see continuation on this, just because I'm sort of saying, we have that waves. If you follow the waves, I mean, like by waves, I'm always saying like how many legs of continuation can we usually see. And trading through this tough small cap market, we've been seeing things sort of die off in that wave, that wave or leg number 4. So on this we have that, let me get the circle tool here. On this we have that wave 1, so we got our, one big wave of buying. We got wave 2, and we're sort of heading into that wave 3, wave 4 spot. I say kind of wave 4 just because we did have this after hours buying, but I don't know if I'd really call that as a wave. So without calling that as a wave, we're entering into wave 3, and that's pretty huge. Usually you see your most explosive moves in wave 2s and 3s, so I'm definitely having this on watch. This one was a runner for the whole week, which was awesome to see. We had on Tuesday, we had the catalyst come out. We saw a really strong gap with a really good move off sort of that ascending setup it had from pre-market into intraday. But honestly, I wasn't into trading this. But sitting out and watching it, it was awesome to be something, once again, run all day, halt, and then actually continuation into after hours. Then on Wednesday, we set up a really good flag here from that pre-market. And actually, guys in mentorship with me, we called this play out. We said it has one of these setups we love to play. And we took it, and it absolutely ripped face. I mean, everybody got triggered in and instantly halted like a minute after they got triggered in. So everybody banked that day. From that move here, we saw a great continuation into Thursday. And now on Friday, we saw a pretty nice looking inside day. I think this could definitely see continuation over this inside day and give a possible swing look. This is probably my second favorite swing look. The only reason I say second favorite, I love the setup, I love how it looks, but the only reason I say second favorite is going back to that waves topic where, we're on a 15-minute, let me get rid of this, sorry. On a 15-minute, we've had this, strong number 1 wave of buying. Now we've had wave 2, wave 3, and then we're sort of shrinking on buying power. We're sort of shrinking on buying volume now and contracting a little bit. But I do think this could have a swing look. I mean, looking back at past swing season in small caps, the waves are not as important. I think when you have lower volume and way less continuation, the waves are way stronger. But I would not hold it against this thing to absolutely squeeze, once again, those shorts out of their positions and get a great move. I mean, looking at the bigger picture here, we did fill the gap and we did reject after we filled the gap. But if this could get strong buying and we get over 507, this thing is pretty much gone until like, let me go on the weekly chart. Until like $586, and then over that, cleaner back to 8. So those are key areas on SSMT I'd be watching, and definitely put this in your swing watch list. SHPH, this isn't a huge one this week, but I did catch a great trade on this on Monday, and this was cool to see. This is when I sort of started realizing that we're seeing small cap continuation. It is on last Friday. We had a huge day of buying, and then we consolidated at the end of the day. And I honestly did take this off my watch list because I was just so used to, at the end of each day, if it isn't like it could have great continuation or not be super bullish, I was like, it's not worth being on my watch list and wasting brain power on. So I take it off, and I wake up Monday morning in the pre-market session, and I scan, and I'm like, wow, this is back on here. Great. Stopped it in my watch list, and me and the guys here, we caught this, this flag look for a solid, 2R win. So it was really cool to catch a trade on continuation, and that was one of the first trades I've had on a gap on continuation in a while. Coming in here to the last name of the week that I was watching this week and that had great movement, PHVS. This is probably my favorite name this week of possible continuation into Monday. So let's look at this here. So we had on this was Thursday. We had an insane amount of buying. So we saw this open up around $4, and after hours, we wicked all the way up to $12.30. That's awesome to see, and that's a really strong amount of buying and halts throughout the day, which gives me a lot of excitement for what we can possibly continue to see. Now, this is definitely what I consider wave one. We just saw this first day of buying, huge buying off this earnings catalyst. What's super exciting about that is since we know it's that wave one, this has a very strong chance to give swing continuation. We look at the daily chart. So let's go here and make sure there's no key areas of resistance. So we look at, Friday's after hours high, 12:30. Let's just say that's going to be our key resistance because it is. There's nothing else in the chart that's, a wall or that's a big area. And we look at that and we say, okay, so there's nothing in 12:30. Like once we get over that level, we have clear room to the high of this candle, 1480, and then we have to fill this gap. This gap will probably get filled, and it's a low of 1830. That means we have great potential if we can catch a swing on this for a move into that gap and possibly filling the gap. Now, I could say that's just pure the daily chart. Now, if we look at the indicators, though, which is something very key here that it's easy to skip over, is look at the 200 daily SMA. We zoom out and we realize that this has been respected a lot in the past. Here it was sort of resistance, then we turned into support, we bounced, support again. Then we had a pretty solid rip off of it. Pull back, acts as support, we get a rip, then we dumped through hard. Dump, and we're finally coming back up. And that means that $14 area, right where the 200 SMA is right now, is an area of key resistance, an area you have to watch because we know it's proven itself in the past, so why wouldn't it prove itself now? I'm hoping we act like a magnet if we swing and we get into it, and be even greater if we got through it. And that'd be really cool to see. But definitely keep that 200 daily, SMA on your watch and watch it for a potential zone. It would never hurt to be safe and say, okay, this could be a key area of resistance. I'm either going to scale out into it or I'm not going to take a trade into it. But yeah, PHVS, definitely my favorite name for swing continuation. So just to wrap this up here, give you some key takeaways. Small caps have been seeing great continuation. It's something I really hope does continue. And I really, think that it can continue. I mean, a lot of these names, they're oversold. Shorts need to be covered eventually. Now, second key takeaway being the 3 swing watches, SSMT, PHVS, and Rent. That doesn't mean the names from Friday can't have swings. Also keep those on watch, just sort of in a back burner. Don't invest a lot of swing, mindset into them. Thanks for watching the Sunday Stock Talk. Hope you have a great trading week and a, great weekend.